Hello and welcome to your YouTube channel Tech Guru Gautam Prasad. This is a video on basics of electrical instruments. So let's try to understand what this subject deals with. So electrical instruments are the devices used to measure, monitor and analyze electrical quantities like current, voltage, resistance and power. They are critically important for every purpose, beginning from basic circuit troubleshooting to ensuring safe and efficient operation of the industrial power system. Now let's try to understand classification of electrical instruments. Electrical instruments can be categorized in several ways, including by their function, output display, and the principle of operation. Measuring instruments basically fall in three categories. This could be electronic type instrument, this could be electrical type of the instrument, or it could be a mechanical type of the instrument. So as we are discussing here, electrical instruments are basically of two types, absolute instruments and the secondary instruments. While absolute instruments are not subdivided further, but secondary instruments are further subdivided into different categories like indicating instruments, integrating instruments, and recording instruments. We will understand all these in details in the subsequent slides. So electrical instruments based on the output display are analogous or analog type and digital type. So analog type instruments use a moving pointer on the calibrated scale to provide a continuous real-time measurement of the measured quantity. So it could be a current, voltage, power, energy, anything. Digital instruments, these display measurements as the discrete numerical values on the screen, and they are generally more accurate, reliable, and easier to read than analog counterparts. So that is the advantage of the digital instruments. Let's proceed. Now, based on functions, electrical instruments can be divided into three categories like indicating instruments, integrating instruments, and recording instruments, as we discussed earlier. So indicating instruments are the instruments that show the instantaneous values of the electrical quantities, be it current, voltage, power, anything like that. Examples or frequency. Example include ammeter and voltmeter. Integrating instruments is the second category. This integrating instrument sums up the quantity over a period of time, and electricity meter or energy meter, you can say, or the watt hour meter, whatever you call it, is a common example of this integrating instrument. So basically, at the end of the month, your reading is taken from the energy meter, and you are charged based on the reading of the meter. Then you have a recording instrument as the third type, which provides a continuous visual record of the quantities variation over the time, often by drawing a graph on a paper or chart. An electrocardiogram or ECG is a type of recording instrument. Okay, temperature meters are also recording the temperature over the time, variation of the temperature over the time. So they are also recording instruments. Now let's proceed. So based on the principle of operation of electrical instrument, this could be divided in two basic types. First is absolute instrument, which determines the value of the quantity based on the instrument's physical constants, and they do not require prior calibration and are mostly used in laboratories. So this particular type of instrument is preferable in laboratories for absolute measurement, as because they are not having the calibrated scale. A tangent galvanometer is an example of this absolute instrument. Secondary instrument must be calibrated against the standard instrument before they are used. And these are most common type of the practical measurements and include standard ammeters and voltmeters or wattmeters, frequency meter, whatever type of the meter you see in the um, at the workplaces are basically secondary instruments. Now, common electrical instruments. For beginners, this is most important to understand the basic type of the instruments. So, the first is ammeter, which measures the flow of electric current in amperes and must be connected in series with the circuit. This is very important. This should never be connected in parallel, otherwise this will damage the instrument. An ideal ammeter has zero resistance to avoid altering the circuit's current. And voltmeter. Voltmeter measures the potential difference in volts between 2 points in an electrical circuit. And this must be connected in parallel across the components or the points being measured. An ideal voltmeter has infinite resistance, so it does not draw any current from the circuit. So that's about the ideal current. In actuality, this does not happen. Instrument basically consumes a certain amount of the power, less, but very less power, but it draws. Then you have ohm meter, which basically measures electrical resistance in ohms. And the circuit or the component being measured must be disconnected from the power source before testing the resistance. That's the ideal situation for the measurement of the resistance. You can disconnect it from the power and then measure the value of the resistance. Then you will get the correct value of the resistance in the circuit. Then you have multimeter. Multimeter combines the function of ammeter, voltmeter, frequency meter, ohm meter in a single versatile device. Modern digital multimeters, which is also called DMMs in short, are the most common type, and uh, uh, the user must select the correct function like voltage, current, or resistance and the range before connecting the probes to the circuit. So that is very important. If you don't select the particular type of the quantity you are going to measure, probably your meter will get damaged. Then you have oscilloscope as the instrument to measure. This displays a graph of electrical signal over the time and allowing the visualization of the waveform, frequency, and amplitude. And this is particularly useful for analyzing more complex electronic signals. The signal to be analyzed is sent to the oscilloscope via a probe. So probes are connected, like if you want to measure the current, your probe has to be connected in such a manner that the current passes through the oscilloscope. And the display shows how the signal voltage changes over the time. Then some important electrical concepts for the measurement are essential to know, and they are basically loading effect. First is loading effect. So what is loading effect? It occurs when the impedance of the measuring instrument affects the circuit being measured. So your instrument's impedance should not interfere with the measurement. So this leads to inaccurate reading. Using instruments with higher sensitivity can help reduce this effect. So if you are using instruments with higher sensitivity, you can overcome this loading effect. Then you need to calibrate. So calibration is also an important part of the instruments, electrical instruments or any kind of the instruments as such. The process of adjusting an instrument to ensure its readings are accurate, it involves comparing the instrument's output to a known desired value and then it is calibrated. So instruments need to be calibrated time to time depending on the usage of the instruments. Then comes the third and the most important part is accuracy versus precision. Accuracy refers to how close a measured value is to the actual value. Accuracy, I'm repeating, accuracy refers to how close your measured value is to the actual value, while precision refers to how consistent and repeatable the measurements are. So precision refers to how consistent and repeatable the measurements are. So if your instrument is repeatedly measuring the correct value, then it is precise on the measurement. It has a good precision. Accuracy, if your instrument is very close to the correct value of the measurement, then it is called very accurate instrument. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching this video and watching it to the last slide. And if you like this video, definitely give a thumbs up to this video, and you can ask your questions in the form of your comments. I would like to reply your questions as early as possible. If you really liked it and you find it useful for some of your friends, do share it with your friends and the community you belong to. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, Tech Guru Gautam Prasad, I will suggest you to subscribe to this channel so that you keep on getting the videos, link of useful videos like this. Thank you so much once again.